Hey there, Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here. Welcome to day 89 of our annual challenge, our BU 365-day challenge to do one thing every day that improves us in some way. This segment, we've been focusing on our mental well-being, mental health, mental well-being, thoughts, beliefs, ideas, mindset, anything that has to do with learning, education, curiosity, anything that has to do with our mind and our mental well-being, our mental health. So today, as we're wrapping up the month, wrapping up the segment on mental well-being, we're going to talk about what's next. What's next for our mental well-being? We've spent 30 days so far now today concentrating on this area, this aspect of our life in the Lifeline categories, right? Physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, financial, relationships, contribution, communication, and confidence are the 9 areas that I look at my life and set goals and objectives in those areas. And then I do action items. I break all those big goals down to little daily actions, things that I can do that I know if I just do them and I make them habits and part of my daily routines, I will automatically achieve the goals and objectives I want by the end of the time period, by the end of the year. I usually do, I have for each of these areas, I have lifetime legacy goals, goals that are just like massive, shoot for the moon, shoot for the stars goals, the things that I would really want, ideally what I would want. And then I break them down each year. What do I need to accomplish to be moving me toward those goals? Knowing that in 1 year, I'm not going to achieve the goals on that particular list, but I am going to achieve my annual goals because I'm going to break them down into bite-sized pieces down to, I do semi-annual reviews. I do quarterly reviews. I do 90-day reviews, which would be quarterly reviews. I do monthly, weekly, and even daily. Every day I look at what were my action items today and check them off. I love check boxes. It's a thing that helps me to see progress. That's a little tool that works for me, is little check boxes make me see that I'm getting through my list and I'm doing the things I say I'm going to do. And we have to all find things like that work for us. So the thing we're going to talk about today for what's next is we're looking at the overall mental area and aspect of our life is the tool we've shared before. It's the Lifeline exercise, the Lifeline tool. Remember, I've got my big Lifeline from last year from the challenge, where this is just key events that have happened in my life. I just draw a line on a piece of cardboard. I actually found a big trifold poster board that I am going to, and I don't know how I would show that, but I'm going to do that for this year and graph my physical, my emotional, and now my mental highs and lows on that graph. And I'll do different colors so I can visually take a look at that in a snapshot. And what I find, why I like doing this exercise, is I realize that I might be high in one area and aspect of my life, but low in another area and aspect of my life. By doing this exercise, I realized that I was high in financial and career and contribution, but I was super duper low, like negative in my physical well-being, my mental well-being, and my spiritual well-being. And so I like to look at it every once in a while and graph it. And as I think of new things, add them to the chart and then say, okay, well, how is this impacting me physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, financially? And we'll do that month by month. I'm going to add each of the categories that we're talking about. So physical, emotional last month, and then mental this month. So what I did last night, right before I went to bed, is I'm like, okay, I just brainstormed a list on my absentee ballot for this election. I brainstormed a list of what are some of the mental Lifeline topics, high points, low points that I could just remember. And I brainstormed the list because then I can go through and I can look at it today and I can add to it today. And I can say, okay, where and when did this occur? When were the high points and the low points? And I did things like by categories. I did, okay, education, school, courses of study, advanced education, seminars, trainings, certifications, conferences, books, activities. And this would be things that I've written, ways that I've contributed, videos, lives, podcasts, webinars, seminars, conferences, speeches, things that I've done. Then challenges that I've done and met, because challenges are mostly a mental thing, right? Whether something's a challenge or not is entirely up to us. We get to decide based on our beliefs and our thoughts about that thing, that event, that experience, and to decide, Okay, is this just a little everyday occurrence? Is this a challenge? Is this a change? Is this a blip on our radar? Or is this a massive decision making, life changing event? It depends. So I brainstormed a whole list of those type things, and I will graph them on. I'm looking at my poster board. It's over here. It's one of those big 3 trifold ones. So I will make my lifeline across the bottom, and I will go 2022 and beyond, because 1960 I was born. So I'll put 1960 and then put the big timeline on the bottom. And what I like about the poster board is it's like 3 or 4 feet. It's probably 4 feet high. So I've got plenty of room to graph the different areas and aspects of my life. And I haven't decided if I'm going to do like a segment of the board for each thing, or I think I'm just going to mix them all together and see where those interactions and those interrelationships are. Because like I said, I've learned over the years that some things that I might be really high in 1 or 2 areas of my life and totally neglecting other areas of my life. And then I analyze that and I say, okay, I understand why this was. What can I learn from that? What are the lessons I can learn from that? Are there any lessons? Did I learn that maybe I need to pull up my physical care and my mental well-being and do some things in that area, as while I'm growing and supersizing and building my business, while I'm learning a new skill or getting a new accreditation or something. I'm not real big on awards and accreditations. I learned that they are all made up, just like everything else, right? Everything in the world's made up. So we could talk about that someday too, and my belief in philosophy about that, because it's true, right? Everything started as an idea in somebody's mind. All right. Questions about the Lifeline exercise? Ask. Our action item today is for you to either make a brainstorm list like this of mind and mental well-being related topics that you want to put on your Lifeline, but to just graph out, even if it's just on a scrap of paper or on your absentee ballot, for example, to just get some ideas down, and then maybe just start plotting and graphing that on your own Lifeline so that you can start to see some of the interrelations and the connections. Like we talked about yesterday, our mental area and aspect of our life is connected to everything. Why? Because we're always thinking. We can't turn off our thoughts. I guess even in a coma, and I was in a coma, our thoughts don't stop. At least mine didn't. Mine kept going. So until we actually die, and I would contend that when we die, our consciousness and who we really are, the being that we really are, moves on. We don't actually just cease to exist. But that's, again, based on your thoughts, based on your beliefs, based on what you think is the way life works. It's going to be different for each of us. All right. Any questions? Ask. Otherwise, I will be with you tomorrow. Have an awesome day.